Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Okay, Instagram. Here we go again. Good afternoon and good night to you, wherever you may be watching me from tonight. I am super excited to be on here tonight, and whew, it's been an interesting day. Trust me. I was feeling like I won't be able to make it, and just a few minutes ago, um, I decided tonight's topic. I came across a content online, and I also did have some real time check-ins. So I'm like, okay, I know what to talk about tonight, and I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Chats with Themmy, and I am excited to be here tonight. And as much as I did not want to come on, but you know, tonight I'm going to be talking about something very interesting. As we're all humans. We all have different experiences and stuff like that. Okay, these past days have been a roller coaster of interesting stuff happening. Some this way, some waves of time and waves of experiences. So definitely, sometimes a lot of things are going on in our lives, and we're like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Oh no, I'm so tired and stuff like that. But tonight we're talking about who's looking out for you. Okay. And I just want to be grateful to the people in my corner that's always looking out for me. And sometimes like you're tired, you don't feel like you're going to do something, and then out of the blue, a friend or buddy or someone just reached out to you like, yo, what's going on? Isn't that happening? Like, what are you doing? And tonight I just literally got a boss a few minutes ago. Just got a boss like, hey, no show tonight. And I'm like, thank you, Mr. Bookman. I really appreciate that. That was very thoughtful. And if you guys noticed, I wasn't on last night, and I was worn out, y'all. I did not want to pour from an empty cup. And I had stayed up all along, and I had to join my prayer session. And by the time I was done, I was like, okay, I was like indecisive. So I had stayed up so late until it was almost time for prayer. And I'm like, okay, I cannot be doing child timing and then prayer is happening. So I need to get done with the prayer and then get on for child timing. And I think that moment I needed it because it helped me to take a step back and, you know, fortify myself. All right. Sometimes I get in the room like a little cat and then I come out as a lion. Okay. So it was very much necessary for me to put my prayer before child timing. And by the time we were done praying, I was worn out and I was very sleepy. And I'm like, you know what? I I could take a break today because I know I deserve it. But guys, I have good news, okay? When I say I have good news, I have good news tonight. Guess what? I have been able to, for the past week or so, I have been able to, kickstart the guest feature, which is a pre-recorded session. So all the guests that I've, coming on here is more spontaneous. So sometimes it's either a minute into the next day or an hour into the next day or, a few minutes into the next day because I am, I've made up my mind to show up irrespective of how my day turns out. But honestly, not irrespective of how my body, not when I'm feeling lazy, but, you know, when it's going to affect my mental state or something, I'm not going to show up and just be a mess. Okay. But over the past week, since last week in today's week, I have gotten over 30 people signed up for Chat with Timmy. Hooray! It's no easy feat, y'all. And I am so honored to have I've had a few people from Canada, Ghana, Liberia, and across the United States. So guys, they're different topics and they're so interesting. It's just been an empowering, conversations for me, like just pre-recording this, and I'm like, I am so excited. I decided to do the chat with Tim and guest feature because I've been meeting amazing people and the conversation has been very wholesome and has been doing a lot of internal work for me. All right, let's put it that way. It's been doing a lot of internal work for me, and I am really, really grateful that I get to have this conversation with these amazing people from across the world. Okay, just to bring you all value, as I promised. All right, but tonight we want to talk about who's looking out for you. Um, the thing is, it's a very delicate space to be in when you're a strong person. Okay, it's a very delicate space. Like, you're the one, you're the family lawyer, you're the counselor, you're you know the best friend who's always listening to someone's struggle and stuff, struggles and whatever. You are the listening ear, you're the strong shoulders, you're you're someone who's always willing to help, right? And simply because you're strong, sometimes you get a rude awakening if you're in a space of, okay, if you're in a phase of need, if you're in a phase of needing a shoulder to cry on. And I'll just cite this today. How do you call it? I came across, of course, you guys, I'm always, across social media and always looking at content in a much more different light. But definitely I wanna mention something I came across today, and it was such an interesting, you know, an interesting eye opener for me. And let me go across this. So someone had shared it earlier, that she did an experiment. She's always a strong person. People are always reaching out to her, her friends and loved ones and stuff like that. They're always one of my Facebook connection, Facebook friends on Facebook, right? People always reaching out to her, and the experiment was simply to see, are people, and I think I've seen a movie about this before. People are, you know, always reaching out to me. I always seem to be the strong one, and people always want to reach out for help, whatever help they need, they do reach out to me. And then she was like, she tested her community, she tested her loved ones, people who have reached out to her, people she has helped, and she just wanted to see something. And she sent out a message like, you know, yo, I'm in a time of need. I'm sorry. I'm in a time of need and I do need some help. Are you open to lend me some money and stuff like that? And her the replies some people gave to her was a mix, right? Someone said, I know you're playing, you don't need money, and because you're always the one helping, so how come you need money? The fact that someone's always helping doesn't mean they don't have a phase of need, or they don't have a phase where they need help. Okay, so nobody's omniscient or omniscient, or how you call it, or omnipotent. It's only God that is the all sufficient God. God is not in need of anything. Even the praises He wants us to give Him, He wants it. Okay, God is not in need of man, man is in need of God. So the fact that someone's always there to help you, someone's always there to meet you at your point of need, doesn't mean they don't have their own life struggles. Okay, it doesn't mean they don't they don't experience moments where they 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 need some emotional support, or they need some financial support. Okay, and the response she got was really mixed. Someone said, sorry, I can't help you. I, I'm not in a position to help you. Someone said, I just lend out money. Some people did not respond to her at all. This was an experiment. Some people did not respond to her at all. And she was like, out of all the people she had messaged, she had texted, or reached out to, it was just one person who acknowledged her help and said, I'm not in the best place right now and I cannot do much for you. And technically, this is the little I have to offer. And I know if you were in that space, you'll do the same for me. And then the person was able to send her some money. And then she was like, I could have cried. Like, this person I know I've been there for them, but the fact that they're willing to give me the barest minimum, which is like technically the little that they had, but they were still willing to share, that's something that touched her heart, right? And for me, it taught me a very valuable lesson. Sometimes it's great to help, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I always tell people there's this funny video or voiceover that's on social media. I recently shared it. It said, if I tell you I'm broke and you see me eating chicken, I'm broke for you and not for myself. So you need to understand. But then let's get it into this context. Okay, your bank account don't need to be zero before you tell someone I'm not in a position to help you. If you give someone your last dollar and you're a parent or you have a family to take care of, or even yourself, you have your own needs to be met. How are you going to take care of that? The Bible said it's blessed to give than to receive. And the Bible also said don't give and grieve. You don't you don't want to give, because the thing is human beings is when you give it all away and you don't have a balance for yourself. Guess what? The people you may have helped down the line, they may look at you and call you a fool. Like, okay, this person was not wise in, in setting themselves up before. They were just dashing money here and there. No. Okay. You need to be able, the thing is, my coach once told me, or I think it came from John Lee, I think the Clubhouse season when I was on like constant on Clubhouse years ago. He said, to make impact, you need money. You're not making money. You're not, making impact because you want money. You need money to be able to empower you to reach more people. Okay, because you're taking care of resources, you're taking care of both material and human resources, so you need money to be able to give you, to create that enabling space for you to be able to reach out to more people. All right. So, and who's looking out for you is not in any, it's not only in the financial context, but emotionally, who is there when you just need to, walk through your head, when you just need some headspace, when you need a shoulder to cry on, who's gonna be that shoulder for you? All right. So let's get to my notes, okay? Um, mm, like, when you're vulnerable as a strong person, who's in that space for you? And being strong doesn't take away the fact that we all have a need to be met. It doesn't take away the fact that we all have vulnerabilities that we're trying to embrace. We all have struggles that we're trying to handle the best way we can. Okay? Being a strong person, sometimes it comes from the expectations to be, self reliant, resilient, and you're just all out there. I was talking to my niece, I think today, and she's like, it's hard for me to, seek help. And I'm like, it's okay to seek help. I mean, you don't want to be reliant on people too much. But the thing is, how are you gonna know your people in your time of of valleys? Like when you're in the phase where you're down in the valley and you don't know where to turn. How are you supposed to know who's gonna be there for you if you do not ask for help? All right. You don't want to be a liability, but at the same time, you don't want to assume that your people cannot help you. You do not want to assume that your people cannot help you. Okay? You want to be able to reach out to a few trusted ones, the ones that you really, really trust, the one that you feel really safe with. They say, okay, I'm having this downtime. I just need a shoulder to cry on. I just need someone to, help me clear my thoughts through this journey. All right. I spoke to someone and she was like, I'm sorry. I spoke to someone and she was like, people who do not ask for help, they're taking away the joy of, people who are willing to help. They're taking away the blessings of people who are meant to help or people who are willing to help. Okay? It's it's very hard for some people to reach out, but the thing is, if you continue to nurse that personality, oh sorry, not personality, but the perception, if you continue to nurse that, guess what? You're going to be in a corner and you would not be able to be confident to say, I know out of all these people on my call list or all these people on my message list, when I send this person text message or when I send this person that, yo, I'm in trouble, they will just block off their calendar to come get me. But you wouldn't realize that if you're not able to call for help. Okay? So you want to know who's looking out for you. Test the watches sometimes, you know? And I like what this lady did. And like I said, I watched a movie about it before. It was a Nigerian movie. I forgot the name. But it was, I think it's Chinenye that acted as the star, the face actor, the lead actor or something. I don't know if I got her name right. Sonia Uche's sister. If you check Sonia Uche, you probably know one of her younger sisters is an actress as well as her. So she acted that lead role, and her family was always taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. And it's the same way. It doesn't have to be just financial. Sometimes emotional, people are just taking and taking and taking from you, and you're just breathing life into them, breathing life into them. But when you need help, when you need someone to breathe life into you, who do you call? When you need, who's on your emergency contact? Let me put it that way. Who's looking out for you? Who do you trust as your emergency contact right now? Check your phone. If something should happen to you today and that phone is rang, would that person come there in an instant? Who's your emergency contact? Okay? You want to ask yourself that. Even strong people fight silent struggles and they fight silent battles. They could be smiling today, smiling to you, or laughing and joking on the phone, but deep down inside, they're dying. Because the fact that they're laughing with you doesn't mean they see you as someone who's safe enough to see them cry. Okay? So you want to ask yourself, who is your emergency contact? Who is? Have you asked yourself that? When you're struggling mentally, when you're overwhelmed with stress, when you're just overburdened by the cares of life, who's looking out for you? It's very important for us to have a support system. It could be our friends and families, it could be therapists and counselors, it could be our mentors or coaches, it could be our community or our peer groups, or it could simply be our spiritual or our religious leaders. For some people, they are safe spaces when they get to talk to their spiritual head. And then that person can just speak some life into them and tell them, you know what, everything is going to be okay. You know what, let's meditate or let's pray about this. But everybody needs an emergency contact. So who's looking out for you? Ask yourself, business wise, relationship wise, education wise, career wise, who's looking out for you? Who's in your workspace that's gonna see an opportunity and say, yo, this will fit Thelma better than it will fit XYZ, or better than it will even fit me. I've been blessed with some really amazing humans in this life to say, yo, I saw this opportunity, you wanna try it out? Yo, I saw this contract out there. I've had I would say I would give it to my people hands down. I've got some of the coolest support system. And if you see me out here looking like I'm a superhero, it's simply because I got really great support system. All right. And we all need that. We all need people to look out for us in as much as we look out for other people, or the same way we look out for other people. Okay. Tonight, I'm not going to be long. I want us to think about this. I want us to. Thank you so much, Calvin. I want us to think about this. I want us to be practical about this. Who's looking out for you? Ask yourself. You know, check your phone right now. Who can you call? Even if you're faking it, who can you call that will be right there? Who? Think about it. Check all the people on your list. Check all the people all the contacts you have marked favorite so far. Who's really the favorite? Who's looking out? Who is that one person that if they don't see you at work for an entire day, or if they don't see a beam of smile on your face in that 8 hours you're in the same space, who's gonna come to you and say, "Oh, you're always smiling. Today what happened? Why are you so serious? You care to share?" Who's that? In your school, at your office, at home. I came across what I'll say a concerning video, and I don't know where I saw that, but people asked, like, I think it was somewhere, it was a gathering. They asked a female, "Who's your emergency contact?" Almost all the females in the video said their emergency contact were were their partners, right? But all the male figures, they asked that question. Who's your emergency contact? My mom. I'm like, wait, what? Including some were married, right? Why is the female's emergency contact her partner, but the male's emergency contact, almost all of them were their mother? What does that say? Doesn't their partner look out for them? What kind of relationship is that? You know, what kind of relationship is that? So you want to go back and ask yourself, who's my emergency contact? Don't just put an emergency contact because say, okay, this is my mom, so she's my emergency contact. If they call your mom today, will she drop everything and rush to you? If they call your dad today, will he drop everything and rush to you? I don't even want to get started about this whole emergency contact thing before I got married. Because there was a time I had to fake it. And then I had like a whole college education with that experience. And then I'm like, okay, never is this person going to be my emergency contact. And I told myself, like, I had to fake it. And I'm like, never, never. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I do love you. But that was like the wild awakening for me that broke my little teenage heart. I was so broken. And I'm like, what? Not even if I'm dying? So don't just put a contact or just say, "Oh, this person is my emergency contact," because, okay, they're the closest person to me. Definitely, Calvin. Test it and see. Whether it's emotional support you need or financial support you need, test that and see. Okay? Who's looking out for you? If you need a shoulder to cry on, if you need some financial assistance, who's going to be there? Almost always, it's the people that you don't expect that may show up for you. And that's where the broken heart comes in. And then you're like, wait, what? But I've been killing myself for this person. I've been putting my back against the wall for this person. I'm not saying do not help. I'm saying look out for you. Okay? Make sure that you are okay, because the only way you can be of help to people is when you're your best. Like to say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Nothing's going to come out. Nothing. And yesterday, when I did my prayer session, and then I felt so exhausted, and I went to bed. I woke up this morning not feeling guilty. Besides, I had guests lined up to interview today. So I'm like, okay, this is still me showing up. I had guests, I did like exactly, Caroline. It's time to prioritize yourself. It doesn't mean you don't care for other people. Yesterday, when I did not show up, I'm like, okay, I spoke to three amazing people yesterday. And guys, I've done over 14 guests, y'all. It's been busy. So definitely. And I have people in my corner. I have my friend Alvin who, if he doesn't see me, he's like, what's going on? No show tonight? I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come. He's like, okay, I'm gonna stay up and see how I can support you. So some people, they're just like, I was talking to one of the guests yesterday, and I'm like, you don't get to see the foundation of a house. You see the roof when you're maintaining, when you're doing maintenance in the house, you change your couch, you redesign the interior. You don't get to see the foundation always, but it's always there. If it's not there, the house is gone, right? How often do you maintain your foundation? How often do you go down and say, let me dig a little deeper? No. You need a solid support system, knowing that irrespective of how heavy the wind is, no matter how heavy the rainfall or downpour of rain may be, no matter how scorching the sun is, this foundation is always going to be there. And the thing is, the awakening I want to give us all is sometimes people may not always be there for you, even if they want to. Because why? Life happens to all of us. The only people life doesn't happen to is to people that is already done life and they are out of life. Okay? There are some things that will always be part of life, irrespective of how I need this person to be there for me, or oh you didn't show up. What if life was happening to them too? Have you asked yourself that person who's always showing up for you? There's this thing that used to happen, and I've observed some people, you will help them. The moment you cannot help them, they're only close to you because of the benefit they were getting from you. And once the benefit they can get from you is no longer coming, you're not as important to them. You're not as important to them. I mean, their acquaintances, their friends, their colleagues, their former schoolmates, like they're different labels you can put on people. But make sure the people you are calling your friends, that you're showing up against all odds for. Make sure in their space you're not like their former classmate or their former schoolmate or someone they just knew when they were growing up and they detached from. All right? So you want to be able to check that. Who's looking out for me? Who's gonna have my back when I need someone? Thank you. Even Jesus had a very small cycle. And even among that Jesus very tiny small cycle of 12 people, like he still had Judas Iscariot. So, like Caroline saying, thank you so much for this point, Caroline. Your support system doesn't have to be a big cycle of friends. Okay? What matters is who's showing up for you, who's coming, who's running, who's clearing their schedule because someone needs me to be there at this point in her life. Who's coming because, okay, I got to cancel this meeting because I need to be with Caroline at this time. I need to be with Calvin at this time. But Calvin needs me. I need to be there. Who's calling off meetings because of you? And sometimes it's not always going to be the people you call off meetings for. And then that will help you to adjust your focus. I said I wasn't going on, but I'm getting to the max of my show time. Okay. So, guys, while I wrap up, I want to say look out for Chat with Themmy guest feature. They are mwah, they are amazing humans. Okay, so definitely, I'm thinking whether to shoot it out. It's gonna be explicitly. It's gonna be every guest is gonna be featured on Fridays at 6 p.m. EST Eastern Time. That is 10 p.m. GMT and 11 p.m. West African Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time and 5 p.m. Central Time. Mountain Time, I don't know. I need to learn how to convert that into my head. But guests are going to be featured every Friday. I'll let you know when the guest feature is going to be launched, okay? But I really do appreciate the people on this journey. I really do appreciate you all that show up, you all that watch the replay. Thank you so much, Calvin, and congratulations, brother. This bro did like 2 degrees. I cannot wait for the German one. Congrats on your Finland degree. And Liberian boys doing great. Like, yo, this generation of Liberians are just breaking barriers and breaking ceilings, and they're not playing at all. So congratulations, my brother. I am so proud of you. You've shared your journey well enough for us all to see, and you're a big inspiration where you're not gatekeeping no information where you got the gems. That's exactly where you're leading people to get gems as well. Guys, if you want to understand everything about studying abroad, definitely Kevin is a very big inspiration to me. I do draw inspiration from his content to share study abroad information as well. Kevin is a whole institution, y'all. You definitely want to reach out to him. Let me put his name up here so you can see. He's Calvin Nelson on Facebook, on TikTok. Like, that's a whole masterclass he has on TikTok because he's always dropping gems and always giving you the right information to help guide you and save you some money from all these scammers that are going around doing crazy stuff. Okay, so I'm proud of you, my brother. You're doing big things, and Liberia is proud of you, not just me, but Liberia is also proud of you because you're definitely a light in our generation. Okay, with everything Liberia has gone through, to see new generation of Liberian young people who may or may not have an example to follow, but they're carving their own way out there is amazing. So, bro, I off cap for you. All right. So definitely, guys, you want to make sure who's looking out for you. If you need to test it, test it. Who's looking out for me? Who's gonna have my back? Who's having my back? All right. Ask yourself, that person you call your best friend, are they your best friend? Are you their best friend? Yeah, let's put it this way. The person whose best friend, who is your best friend, are you their best friend? It's not about hanging out and going to parties. No. What's on your qualification list to say, oh, this is my best friend. We grew up together. Okay, the fact that you grew up together doesn't make them your best friend. You know? What's the relationship like? Thank you so much for giving me some accolades. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it. So ask yourself, oh, X is my best friend. Y is my best friend. Oh, Z is my best friend. Ask yourself, to Y, are you their best friend? To Z, are you their best friend? Okay, I'll definitely have to talk around this. Who's your best friend? Who do you call your best friend? Are you your best friend, best friend? How cool is that? Are you the best friend of your best friend? Have you asked yourself? Are you the best friend of the person you call your best friend? But anyway, that's story for another day as I'm wrapping up today's episode of Chat with Terry. Guys, you don't want to see the guest feature, okay? It's going to be going out on YouTube very soon. So I'll need the support. I'll need the shares. I'll need, you know, you can save the videos because it's masterclass. And trust me, some of these guests are making me to step out of my comfort zone. I'm sure you guys are going to laugh at me and laugh your heads off. But you see this chat with me. Now here we do. We know they go anywhere, okay? Because like it's just mind blowing the conversations I'm having with these amazing human beings, okay? And today I got to talk to a senior VP of a bank in Pakistan. And I'm like, how did I get so lucky? And she's so humble. She's so full of strength. Y'all, whew, I just cannot wait. I can't wait for all the back ends to be put in place and then start launching out these things, start launching out these episodes because they are amazing, guys, and it's a very incredible learning journey for me. And if I say I do not appreciate you guys' support, I'll be lying because it means the world to me. You don't just watch online, you don't just watch the replay. Some of you send me messages, some of you encourage me, some of you are looking out for me, and I really appreciate you being in my corner. And I love you so much. Until tomorrow, I'm definitely gonna come out tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's the weekend. And until tomorrow, I'll see you. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a pleasant weekend. And remember to rest because you've had a long week. Productive or not, don't beat yourself up for it. Everything's going to fall in place. Okay? Have a good night. I love y'all. Take care.